Aloha, my dear
Hello.
boy.
How are you?
Hello, Mr. Brixtonbury. Should I say Mr. Brixtonbury? How would you like me to refer to you, matey?
Simon?
Simon, that also works. First thing to say is cheers, Simon.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Happy Monday.
Cheers.
How are you?
How am I? I've recovered. If anyone's watching this, for those of you who don't know, our dear boy Simon is the designer of Brixtonbury Bad Boy Hot Sauce. This lovely, lovely stuff, which you just saw me drink a good bottle of almost in an Experts and Idiots episode number 10, whilst reading the Jabberwocky. Simon, that stuff is fucking delicious, man. Tell me about the sauce, man. Yeah, it was super. It's just, dude, I could drink another bottle of that stuff, definitely. Tell me about that. What's in it? How did you get it together?
I can't believe you drank a bottle anyway. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, what can I say? That's how we do it over here in the Chili Lounge. It's normal. But then stuff was it's just great. Just talk to. So, what did you make it of? And what inspired you to make it?
Well, last summer, I started growing chili seeds for something to do because of this crazy lockdown, and we just did really well in the garden. We had a hot summer. The free plants just grew and grew and produced so many chilies. I was giving them away to delivery drivers, neighbours, everybody.
That was a Scotch bonnet, oh?
Yeah, Scotch bonnets.
Scotch bonnet, orange.
Red.
Red, okay.
Yep.
Wow,
Apparently,
how'd you get the colour of the sauce like that then if you've got Scotch bonnet reds?
It's
a lovely orange colour. For those who don't know, here's a little colour for you. How do you get it that nice orange colour? Or is that a trade secret never to be revealed?
It's probably the mango and pineapple.
And we use a lot of mango as well. That stuff is the best for hot sauces.
It is. Yeah, but most hot sauces, like peri-peri, there's no kind of taste to it. It's just goo. But I wanted something with some real taste and flavour, with a kick. And so I put Scotch bonnets in here, and it seems to taste okay.
I love them. Scotch bonnets were my first go-to chili. When I first started to produce, I was producing sweet and sour hot sauces. And just for a colour, I was just astonished. I was working with orange ones, I have to say. But also I like the feeling of empire you have with them. There's something about the Raj and old India and colonialism. And I don't know what it is. I get that feeling with Scotch bonnets. I think it's because there's a lot of Caribbean Scotch bonnet sauces. I don't know why it is, but I get that feeling. And for you, I guess, that's quite right where you are. You're in the middle of Brixton. And so that's real Caribbean flavour going on over there, huh?
There's loads of it. You've got the market down the road. I mean, it's about 5 minutes away. And they serve all kinds of crazy foods, which you wouldn't normally eat.
Love Brixton. Brixton is the top place.
I'm kind of glad I'm so far away because I've seen your videos and I've seen you dose up these poor innocent people with
well, I'm a very responsible sadist. I always take great care to make sure everyone is okay. I think there's a difference between being a sadist and a psychopath, and the difference is whether or not you want people dead at the end. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, I love your area, Brixton, and I can almost taste it in this fucking sauce, man. Awesome. I mean, it's got that real flair to it. What goes in there that you'd like to talk about? Of course, we got Scotch bonnet in there.
Well, it's all on the back. So I mean, it's pineapple and mango for the sweetness. It's got nice honey flavors and fresh ginger, and lots of lime. So like a mojito. So lots of kick.
Hot sauce mojito, I like that concept.
And each bottle, well, I don't know, has like two chilies or 10. I do them up to level 10. So that's really red, because you like the red colour.
Yeah. So how do you translate then? So that means that a level 2 from 10 heat level for you has got like roughly 2 chilies per bottle. A level 7 heat level has roughly 7 chilies per bottle. That's how you do it, yeah?
Not per bottle. It's usually about every 4 or 5 bottles. So, gosh, over So I do a batch of 5. So when I cook a batch, it's 5. I get about 5 bottles, 4 or 5 bottles, and 2 or 3 or 4 bonnets go in. So out of level 2, you've probably got about half a bonnet then. That's under half a bonnet on level 2.
It's what I love about small batch production. We do it ourselves, yeah. And yeah, it causes, I mean, for us, sometimes it causes a bit of stress because people come and demand things. I want this now, kind of a thing. But then I have to tell them, no, there's a cook coming, there's bottles coming, and so on, you know what I mean? But then the beauty of the small batch cook for me is that personal feel that every bowl has. I stuck every fucking label and every fucking bottle. Do you know what I mean? It just feels nice. It feels good. It's like a creative thing, you know?
Most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Creating the logos and the colours and how the sticker is going to go on and yeah, how it's going to look. It's all kind of part of it.
You started down this road, your hot sauce journey, I guess you could say. You started down this road at the beginning of the lockdown, huh?
I guess, yeah. You know, plants were growing over last winter and started fruiting, I guess, May time last summer. And yeah, I mean, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And they're kind of not looking too good at the moment. 2 have died. But one's hung on.
It happens.
I know, it's a shame. They were my first plants.
Oh.
This one.
My first one was called Harold. He died a while ago. Made me very sad.
Should I name them?
I always name my plants, always do, always fucking do. But I mean, the thing is with chili plants is they always come with, or they often come mostly with such delectable names. We have in the window right now, we have sitting out looking at the street. I've got a speedball. I've got a Peter Pepper penis chili. I've got a Jamaican hot chocolate. I'm a particular fan of the penis chilies, I must say. I'm having a lot of fun with those ones. I can recommend them highly. Yeah, and I've also got an orange scorpion apocalypse, which is such a sexy fucking name. I think I got the name right. That was a seed we got from our boy Chronic Logic. He's a grower in Canada.
Okay. Wow.
Who's a super cool dude, and that guy has some fucking seeds. That's a shout out to Chronic Logic. If anyone's out there looking for a seed supplier, that's your boy to use. Dude, I miss Brixton. I used to hang around in your area when I was a kid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from Brighton. Originally, I'm from Brighton, but my family are Georgian people from Tbilisi, which is the capital of Georgia. So that's why I look a bit like Stalin. But I'm born and bred in Brighton. I spent my delinquent youth mostly in London because I was working at the time in the theatrical branch. So I was like acting and modeling and shit like that. And so I spent a lot of time around there. And being a teenager in the early 90s, working in the arts, it was all about where the best ecstasy was. And that was really in your area, to be honest. It's a long time ago now. Long time ago now. I remember there used to be a nightclub, and I can't fucking remember the name of it. This was the place we used to go to in Brixton. I had a mate of mine who was from East London, a place which no one will have heard of, but you might know, called Ilford. And Ilford, I'm sure you will attest, is not the most salubrious of areas. But we used to leave Ilford and come to Brixton, pay entrance to a nightclub. And I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, because my mate from Ilford was in charge of all of that, you know. And we used to go downstairs. You'd pay £10 to get in the nightclub. This must have been 91, 92. So we're talking a long time ago now, Jesus. And used to pay £10 to go in, go downstairs directly to the toilet. And in the gentleman's toilet, there was a really tall transvestite gentleman, lady person. And you used to buy ecstasy from them, dollars they were, and speckled doves. I remember it clearly. And it cost expensive. They were like £15 each. And one of those tablets was enough for 3 people to jump up and down all night long when we were in our early teenage years. That's my memories of Brixton. And the markets. My father took me to your markets. Brixton, for people who don't know, who might be watching, Brixton has very colorful markets. I don't know how to describe them. How would you describe the markets in Brixton? It's difficult to describe.
Well, it's Caribbean, so it's all the colours, all the smells of Caribbean food. So your plantains or your chilies, everything you can imagine from that kind of area. So Mill's got cooking fresh food. You get the sweet corns, you've got the patés. That's great. And then you've got the food market, which is amazing, which is kind of trendy and cupcakey, which is really good. I mean, you get some really crazy Colombian food or Mexican or stuff you wouldn't normally get in the high street.
I guess for the people, there's a lot of dudes who watch our stuff who come from the States or whatever, and they got very little frame of reference. I guess a good frame of reference might be the movie, what was it, Snatch or Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, where Jason Statham was on the market. That was one of those movies, wasn't it? Guy Ritchie movies. Think Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, I don't know if he went to Brixton, but there probably is some markets in it. I mean, you could put some pictures up in the video, pictures of Brixton Market.
That's a very good idea. I shall show you some images of the beautiful Brixton Market. Here you go, Brixton Market. There you go. For example, I have to say, I'm really happy you sent that stuff over to me, dude. It's really good hot sauce, and I hope you have a good plan to sell that stuff to all kinds of people. I hope that's rolling for you. Is it?
I don't have a plan at all. I got my website and I'm getting no sales or very little sales. We're doing well in Somerset. So I'll take it home to Somerset. Because of the name Brixtonbury, I'm from Glastonbury, but I live in Brixton, so hence the name Brixtonbury. It's doing well with cider farms.
So you're from Somerset originally?
Yeah. So the cider farms, love it.
I can just imagine that as well, because this stuff is so fruity. So I can see it going really well with the general kind of cider farm ambience and general feeling. I miss that, you know. Here in Germany, there's a lot of great stuff, but they ain't got any good cider here, that's for sure, right? But I've started brewing my own scrumpy.
Ooh.
Just for myself. I know, and I've been doing it with some chilies in it as well. So maybe I might sell it to a few people at some point in time, but more for me. But it's too killer stuff. I've worked out a trick with my cider brewing, because I've worked out that if I use the right type of yeast, champagne yeast is the best one, and it's alive, then that yeast goes up to around about 15% or 18% alcohol before the yeast dies, you know? And so you end up with fucking rocket fuel.
Yeah. Perrier car.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, you know, I have to say, I'm hoping to see you over here in the Chili Lounge at some point in time. I hope so.
Definitely. I've been to Berlin a few times.
But we're further south.
Okay. And last year we were kind of in the Black Forest. Is that
that's
nearish?
About the right area? Yeah, you're in about the right area. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, coming down south from Berlin, you've got Black Forest and so on. It's a beautiful area. I could strongly recommend it. And our little corner of the world is called Gostenhof. That's where our Chili Lounge is. And it's very comparable to Brixton in many ways, I have to say. It's a bit like Brixton fucked Soho, basically, you could say. It made a baby. The color and the immigrant flair and I guess you could say the overload of sense and smell is akin to Brixton. It's going in the same direction, man.
Yeah, the color.
Yeah. Color, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I have to thank you deeply for that. And also, we have to organize in the future, I think, you and me are going to have to do a nice chili challenge together online. What do you say to that? Sounds like a plan?
I can't do hot food. I can't do hot chilies.
You can't eat hot chilies.
No.
Really?
Level 2, which is my basic starter, that's the limit. Anything more, just mouth is just too hot. I'm sweating, I'm crying.
That's about when I get started. But I mean, for me, it's one of the reasons I love my chilies is it's kind of like what we were just talking about, actually. When I was a younger man, obviously these days I'm an old balding git, but then when I was a younger man, I had an insatiable appetite for every type of illegal substance that you could potentially put in front of me. I would eat it immediately without even asking what it was. And so I'm an old fuck now. I'm proud of that. And in my old days, you're very unlikely to find me near a drug as such, because I'm too old for that stuff now. But for me, the chili eating took over from it. You know, the endorphin rush of a really fucking hard chili hit has definitely replaced coming up on pills, listening to Carl Cox in a nightclub.
Really?
In the early 90s, for sure.
We're still doing it.
Yeah.
We were raving in 91 ourselves in fields, taking acid and everything. And
I love it.
We still do it. We still go out to clubs now and again and get trashed.
Do you know what? We work in a nightclub. I have the Chili Lounge, which is our chili headquarters, but it's also a Jewish deli. And we run catering from here, classic style Jewish deli. And we got food for people. But then our second place where we have a location, which is closed at the moment because of the joy that is COVID, is in a nightclub. Yeah. And actually not just a nightclub. I'm kind of proud of this. The building we are inside of was the central SS barracks of Adolf Hitler's Germany. So the most important, let's say, SS building of the Nazi period. And we opened a Jewish deli in the middle of it.
That's a bit fuck you, isn't it?
It's a real fucking finger up to the Nazis. I love it, but I mean, historically, it's a good point. But then that's the thing I always find with the nightclub there. I love the people who we work with. We have adorable people that you meet. They're ever so nice. You know, I can't say enough nice things about them. But the general nightclubbiness, I realize that I'm well into my 40s when I'm watching all of these people bouncing up and down full of speed or whatever they're, you know, doing, drunk off their heads or who knows. Just, it does not work for me anymore. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Maybe it's the wrong music. It's not getting you.
What can I say? What can I say?
You know, we're going out to print works or whatever, and as long as you find the right night, I mean, like Berghain, I mean, if you've got nice industrial techno, you can still do your MDMA and ketamine and your coke and whatever else. Have a good night.
I absolutely love the idea. I always tell people I used to be sex and drugs and rock and roll, and now I'm like a good night in bed, and aspirin, a little bit of Mantovani potentially, but then I don't know. I mean, I have to say that I like the old man aesthetic. I enjoy it. I like the idea of being able to say, actually, I'm an old fuck. I enjoy that.
There's more time to do it when you are old.
Do you know what? I think the first time I ever said to someone, excuse me, but I'm an old man, was when I was like 20.
Old before your time.
And you know what? I think it's more like, for me, the difference between a child and an adult. For example, I have a daughter and she's a child. And the difference for me between a child and an adult is knowing when to be childish. I think that when I was a child, or when you are a child, you can be childish at inappropriate times. And then when you're an adult, in the right concept of being an adult, you keep your childishness and then you let it out at the right times, you know?
Yeah.
That would be it. That would be it. And so don't get me wrong, for sure, I'm I'm blowing my mind out and behaving extremely childishly relatively often. If you ask my girlfriend, probably more often than I should. But then I don't know, it's just disconnected from this nightclub concept for me. I'm happy to work in them. I think, do you know what? I think if I didn't work in a nightclub, I would be more into going to a nightclub. That would be it. Yeah, that would probably be it. Yeah.
I guess you've got a family, you've got kids and a girlfriend. There's less appeal to go out and get trashed and stay up all night. And you've got to be responsible.
I don't know. Shit, man. I remember a million years ago when I was living in Barking in Essex, and I had a girlfriend. I was living with that girlfriend, and I was going on my psychedelic voyages of self-discovery in that phase of my life. And I remember my girlfriend's daughter was 5, and we would wait until she went to bed. And then when she'd gone to bed, I might get high on some crazy shit, like, I don't know, weird Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds. I used to like to grind them up and mix them with liver pate and eat that. They're vaguely psychedelic. It's a lysergic acid amine, which is one chemical bond away from LSD. So there you go. And I'd sort of make myself some of that stuff around 2 in the morning when everyone was in bed, sit around tripping my balls off. And then about 6 in the morning, my girlfriend's daughter would come into the room, open the curtains. I'd be bathed in sunlight. Whoa! And she'd put on the Teletubbies. And then I'll never forget, like 6, 7 in the morning, watching the Teletubbies. There's a scene in the Teletubbies at the beginning. There's a hill, and then the sun rises over it, and it's a baby's face, and the baby's face goes, and I watched that often in the morning, still tripping from the night before, and then made breakfast for the kid, you know? And so I think that there is a kind of crossover between being a responsible adult and being a complete fuckhead at the same time. I think it's also, these things are doable. You can multitask them, in my experience, yeah. I can't say thank you enough. And anyone who's watching this, you need to buy Brixtonbury fucking bad boy hot sauce. You need to buy it. As you saw, whilst trying to perform the Jabberwocky, it is so good, you can drink a bottle of that stuff. I can recommend it highly. And Simon, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining up, dude. And
it's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too, my brother. Not the last time, but this was the first time. But for now, it's ciao for now, buddy boy. So I'll speak to you soon.
Cool.
Ciao for now, man.
Cheers.
Yo, ciao.